Hi, everyone. My name is Rob Turrisi, and I've been working with MAD now for well over a decade. And when we started to do the quarantining due to COVID, I suggested that maybe we do a weekly series called something like Without Being Creative, Coffee with Rob, parenting tips. And my friends and colleagues at MAD thought that was a great idea. So that's what we've been doing. This is the second in a series that we have planned, about four of these, and we may continue afterwards. It's entirely up to them. And the first one was about rule setting, and the second one today is about celebrations, being that it is graduation season. And the third one, I believe, will probably be a little bit about the young people and developing brain. And I'll do it in what Vicki Knox calls kitchen table language next week. So today we're going to be talking about celebrations. Next week, we're going to be talking about developing brain and how that influences decisions, choices, sometimes moodiness, and so on. But it's really important for parents to understand that they have a lot of power and they can help their kids through all of these things. So today, celebrations. Celebrations have been a big part of my own life for well over 35 years. I go to at least one graduation a year at the universities that I work at. I also attend graduation ceremonies of my friends' children, so sometimes I go to more than one ceremony, and sometimes I end up going to high school, middle school, kindergarten, elementary school, sometimes preschool celebrate graduations as well. So today I'm wearing my cap and my tassel from my own regalia, and I would normally have been hooding a doctoral student, a new doctor, Brad Traeger, but at Penn State, like many other places, our graduations have been either canceled or postponed. So my friends at MAD said, can you talk a little bit about this for parents and students? Because this is something that's hard for a lot of people. So I want to mention about three or four things about this. The first is that congratulations to all the students that have graduated. So for the students that graduated from preschool or kindergarten, congratulations to you. You made it through a great year. For those of you graduating elementary school and middle school, again, congratulations to you. You've made big milestones in your lives as well. And then for your high school graduates and your college graduates, again, a really big congratulations to you. This has been very challenging for all of you to have to change your entire way of existence from the month of March till where we are right now. And in some ways, you've had to make maybe some of the biggest sacrifices for those of us who are still healthy and not suffering, not getting a chance to spend time with the teachers and the students and the friends and everybody that's around you. I want to just say to you, you have a great future ahead of you, despite what we're going through right now, and take advantage of all those opportunities. Believe in yourselves, put your foot forward, and do great things. Make the world a better place. Congratulations. I also want to mention something as well. And this is the part when I'm at graduation ceremonies, and again, like I said, I go to multiple per year. It doesn't fail for me to kind of tear up a little bit and feel for the parents and the grandparents and all the loved ones of the graduates. If we see somebody crossing that stage, whether it be actually in person or virtually, as it happens right now, there's been a lot of family level sacrifice to make that possible. So I want to take a moment to congratulate all the parents, grandparents, and loved ones that have really helped our graduates succeed. We can never do it alone. So congratulations to all you parents and grandparents and loved ones for being recognized for that. Okay. With that said, let's talk about graduation for a little bit. And graduations could be these really wonderful times. Even under these circumstances, we all need and benefit from positive news. So when we have a child that's graduating, a celebration by the family to the extent that we can and what we can do safely is in order. And I spent a little time researching what people have done creatively to honor their graduates online. I went online, did a little research on this, and I saw some really cool things. I saw neighborhoods putting chairs on their lawns and taking a moment out to toast with, cheers for the graduate. I've seen um, parades of cars drive around, honk their horns, and do things like that. I've seen a lot of really interesting, innovative ways that people have tried to celebrate our students. And while it's not exactly the same, it's still recognized and honors them. So for all you people that are creative and doing creative things like that, fantastic for you. I do want to talk a little bit about a different perspective that I've seen on graduation celebrations that may be happening right now, or it may be happening as we postpone some of these celebratory parties. And I'm really, at this point, speaking to mainly the high school graduates at this point and their families. I could see a scenario where there'll be a party during the summer where we'll be restricting, lifting some of the restrictions that we've had to date. And there'll be a lot of pressure for the students to want to visit and celebrate with their friends at parties, and their parents to let them go and celebrate at these parties. They haven't spent a lot of time with each other for a really long time, and they're probably itching to spend some time together. The parties are great, and they're fantastic, and I encourage that. I encourage that to happen. What I would like to talk about, though, is the possibility of mixing alcohol or in those parties. When we did research, and we've done this a few times, we've done research with students, and we asked them, what are the reasons why they want to drink alcohol? And they give us many different reasons. They talk about stress, they talk about it's easier to talk to people, you get silly, and so on. But the number one reason students tell us that they drink is that it adds to a celebration. It makes that celebration more fun. They get to have fun. Now, adults will also celebrate with champagne at weddings or things like that. And many of the adults might have a taste of it. They might have a sip. They might have a small glass. And usually that's where it might end for many adults. For young people, rarely do they have a sip of alcohol when they get together with their friends. Usually it's to get buzzed or to get high or to get drunk or something along those lines. Each generation has different terms for it, but it means pretty much the same thing. And so what I want to do is I want to caution students first by saying, while you may think that it adds to the celebration, you have a lot of celebrating in your future. And what we know from our science is that the more that we delay initiation and onset of any kind of alcohol use for young people, the better and more protective it is for them as they go on in their lives. And early initiation, even in the smallest amounts, are usually associated with short-term problems as well as lifelong problems. So I would encourage you to resist the urge and continue to try and be safe. For the teens that might have tried alcohol at parties during high school, it's never too late to go back. And so we found that students that reverse that trend and reduce their exposure to alcohol, reduce their tendency to drink, even in small doses with friends, they are better off than the ones that do not. I can't emphasize that enough. I've seen a lot of harm, a lot of families, and I just encourage you to stay strong and make the right choices that way. As far as families go, when I ask parents, what are the reasons why they will allow their students to drink, even in small amounts, to add to celebrations, they usually offer reasons that are protective, like, I'm doing this to help my child. I know that they'll go to a party, so I'd rather host the kids at my house. I know they're going to drink at some point, so I'd rather drink in controlled situations with me. And I could see their thinking, their point about wanting to be protective of their kids. I think most parents are protective of their kids. However, while that they may be protective in that moment and protecting them at that moment, I can't emphasize this enough to parents. What we've seen in our data, as well as data from everywhere across the United States and other countries, is that when parents allow their kids, even in the smallest of doses, to have a small amount of alcohol at celebrations like this, those are the students that are more likely to drink in heavier amounts more frequently, combine alcohol with other drugs, and experience 2 to 3 times more problems than when they don't drink. And compared to other students whose parents say it's not okay at your age to do this. So I can't emphasize that enough. It may seem protective at that moment, but the downstream effects are not protective. In fact, they're actually quite harmful. So I encourage the parents to celebrate safely, celebrate wisely, and if you have any questions about these types of things or the science behind this, please contact Ned. Don't hesitate to send me an email. I'm happy to share that information with you. And with that, cheers to the graduates. Happy celebrating. And next week, we'll be talking about the developing brain and how that influences decisions. Thank you.